to be watching these weekly updates. You may not agree with me, fam, but all I'm using is technical analysis. Technical analysis is not, it has nothing to do with fundamental. It has nothing to do with who's buying Bitcoin. It has nothing to do with what institutions are selling, what the narrative is behind Bitcoin, what conferences are behind Bitcoin, what's the next shill, what president's buying Bitcoin. This has nothing to do with fundamentals. This is all technical. And believe it or not, fam, if you just use technical alone, you can succeed in this market. Okay. Now let's get to it. We're looking at the 3-day time frame on Bitcoin. And I did mention this a little bit on Twitter, but we have this very important 3-day level. 1, 2, previous all-time high, 73K right there. And then we made up in this new range. Now this new range, fam, is pretty clean, if you ask me. Here, boom. All right, so we came up here above 73K, bounced the 110, came back down to 74K. Didn't quite retest that wick. We got a little bit of a front run here, as you can see it. But now the trend is rolling over. Here we have a 3-day cross, okay, bearish, chop, sideways chop, minimum. 3-day cross, bearish, sideways chop, minimum. We reclaimed the 50 on the 3-day and then really just took off from there to new highs. And now we had the 3-day cross. But the difference between all these 3-day crosses, fam, and the 3-day crosses that we've seen previously is this 200 MA. Okay, this 200 MA is a long-term moving average, which means that as trend slows down, right? This long-term trend slows down. The Bitcoin cycle, the 4-year cycle slows down. We start retesting these 200s on all time frames. Okay, so you go over here to the daily. All right, here's the daily time frame. We are well below the 200. Okay, fam. In fact, we did not spend too much time here below the 200 here. That's the red one. We did not spend too much time below the 200 here, but we are significantly below the 200 now, okay? Not even close to riding underneath it. We are significantly below the 200. In fact, we have a hard time reclaiming this 21 EMA. And even more so, if you go over here to 12-hour, we have this beautiful 12-hour cross, okay? Now, normally, fam, I'm shilling longs here, and in fact, I am willing to take a long if we close a 12-hour over that 50 MA. Because as soon as we start closing a 12-hour over 90.8-ish, okay, usually this will signal some type of bounce, some type of pump. Last time we had the 12-hour cross right here. Here's a 12-hour cross. We had a nice pump. What is this? This went from 114 to 126, right? Here's one bullish cross going from 112 to 117. So it doesn't even have to be much. Maybe we come up here, retest this level right here. Boom, 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 boom. If we reclaim that 50. But for right now, it is still bearish. Okay, we're going to go with some bigger time frames here in a second. We're going to go over all the alts as well. But the most important thing to look at right here, fam, is really how the long-term trend is changing, okay? What do I mean by long-term trend? Well, here's one, okay? This is the weekly trend, okay? We got the 21 EMA, that's yellow. That's our fast EMA. We got the 50 MA. I do not use the 50 EMA. I use the 50 moving average. 50 moving average with the 21 EMA is a perfect system. You have one EMA, you have one MA. I highly suggest you using a 1 EMA, 1 MA system because that's going to give you one fast moving average and one slower moving average, as well as you can get a lot of confluence from your own system. But I personally use the 21 EMA, that's yellow. The blue is the 50 MA. Now, overall, if we took away just the short-term time frames, right? Yes, trend is still our friend, right, fam? This is Bitcoin. Here's the 200 MA. Anytime we are down, touching that 200 MA, it's a buy. We're currently sitting around 56K. I welcome any opportunity at 56K. Again, anytime you're down here at the 200, buy. Even if you were buying here 23, 24K, you weren't underwater for very long, although this was a lot of sideways chop. And then we started reclaiming that 200 MA on the weekly. But again, normally when we have that 21 EMA and 50 MA cross on the weekly, all right, we have this cross on the weekly. It signifies cycle over, all right? And there's nothing to get emotional here about, fam, okay? We have one bearish cross, bear market, okay? Bearish cross, COVID, all right? Bullish cross, bearish cross, FTX collapse, Celsius, all the FUD from last bear cycle. And here we go. Here's the 21 EMA and the 50 MA about to cross again. In fact, they're probably going to cross in 12 minutes. So normally speaking, when we get this cross, we get a little retest of that 50. So that will be the ultimate short. You're going to retest that 50, even a reclaim of that 50, that'd be 102. So 108 would be like a nice area for a nice short opportunity, swing short. But for right now, it's very possible that we're going to go down and make some type of bullish divergence. Okay. Show the drawings. All right. Let's go back to that 3-day. And realistically, I would love to just see, and we are holding the 3-day 200 MA. Realistically, I would love to see some type of bullish divergence here on RSI. So price action keeps climbing a little bit. Maybe we test that 300 or that 3-day 21 EMA. And then we get this going up, and then we go down here. That makes a new low, right? And then I would love a real retest of that 73.8. And then we can go maybe to new highs, or maybe we just retest that 108 and we come back down, right? We got a couple options here. But I don't think we're going to get the real bounce that everyone's looking for until we make some type of larger time frame bullish divergence. We did oversell right here on the 3-day. But again, I'd like to see price action get reset here a little bit in the RSI. Boom. Look at that. Look at that trend line. Very clean trend line. So I'd love to see the RSI get reset a little bit on the 3-day. Make some bullish divergence on the 3-day. Boom. That'd be like 73, 75K. And then we can go up to 108 or even higher. All right. So until that happens, I'm not really interested in longs. Although there's some great scalping opportunities. And I think that, like, realistically, if you're going to be taking swings, you should be taking profits very quickly, aka really only scalping. Okay. So this is the 3-day Bitcoin. Now, I do want to show the 2-week here. We have a 2-week closing. And we talked about this 2-week RSI pennant. All right. Everyone want to ignore this, but we did not ignore this. We were tracking this literally since Trump got in office. Believe it or not, we've been tracking this. And as you can see here, broke this pennant down, 2-week little reset. And it does look like, because we have a little bump here, does look like we could pump a little bit before we dump. But if we pumped, right, it probably would be a minimum pump to like 9,800K. And then we would dump further. So it's whether or not they want to take that 12-hour and cross it. Again, a 12-hour close above 91,000 would essentially start momentum for an upside move. 95, 96K could go a little bit higher to 9,800K. But they need to cross that 12-hour, and that's what it comes down to first. Yeah, that's what it comes down to first. Overall, though, I know people are really paying attention to that weekly candle, which looks like hot dog shit. Over here, that's weekly, right? Looks like hot dog shit. We're going to have a weekly cross, but they are fighting the weekly right now cross. And although this weekly does look bad, the 2-week doesn't look too bad. They can definitely force this move up to 101K. They force a squeeze here on the 21 EMA and the 50 EMA. Let's just go get rid of some drawings here. 21 EMA and the 50 EMA, right? Could force a squeeze here. Boom, boom, boom. Until the yearly close, yearly change, and then we could go dump. Or we could go higher and then dump. So as long as the 2-week holds that 50 EMA, it's going to probably be in chop land. I think like all the aggressive volatile moves are over. And they're going to probably fill this area out a little bit right here. Because why not, right? This is inefficient before a move up or down at that point. All right, so that's really the 2-week. Now, I think the most important thing right here, bam, is that we go over alts. Because alts, and all these people talking about alts and alt seasons, blah, blah, blah. I think they're missing the big picture, okay? So we're going to stay on this 2-week time frame. We're going to go right over to everyone's favorite XRP. Here's XRP. Boom. All right, here's the 2-week XRP. All right. Now, this would be a beautiful bullish chart had we not just spent all this time in this new range distributing. That's right, fam. You heard it here. Distribution, okay? So we have made 1, 2, 3, 2 weeks in a row that are red on XRP. So everyone remembers, right, what Bitcoin looks like on that 2 week. Bitcoin's 2 week, right? Beautiful looking bottom candle holding the 50 MA. It actually has a little bit of a bottom candle. 2 week is a little bit more bullish than the weekly. It's a larger time frame. I'm okay with the 2 week as long as they cross that 12-hour. Again, what I previously showed, the 21 EMA and 50 EMA. Price action above that on the 12-hour on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a chance to move up. Unfortunately, right? XRP, it's 2 week, looks like shit. Here it is, flat, dead candle, showing a little bit of a body. All right. It is holding. Now, it is holding a very important $2.03 level. But I will tell you this, fam. That level is not going to hold. All right. Historically speaking, you have some type of drizzle right here, no bounce on support, right? Because we really have not had a bounce. We have these bounces, but they're not following through. We are going to go and close lower, all right? Which just means, right, that XRP could go right back where it started all the way to 75 cents. That's right, 75-cent XRP. 2 week, hideous, bearish, says there is no alt season coming. Sorry. All right. 2 week Solana. All right. So we're going to use this chart because this 2 week has a little bit more history. All right. So here's a 2 week. Don't even know how I did that. Here's Solana. 2 week cross coming. We have a blue candle, barely blue, low body. Here's the 2 week level. Boom. 111. So realistically, I think we're shy down here of 111. I mean, a lot of alts say that the whole market's probably gonna go lower. Solana also bearish. 2-day cross here, bear market. 2-day cross here, bear market. Gonna really fill out the inefficiencies that we made during the bull pump, which would be right here, fam. All right, so these boxes that I'm showing you on XRP, Solana, these are inefficient. But inefficient just means that at these prices, right, there is very little time to spend trading. And normally, to have a balanced market, you want to fill these out. All right, so not a lot of time trading here. Let's fill it out. Okay, XRP. Same thing. Not a lot of time trading here. Let's fill this out. Okay. This is just general market dynamics that I'm going over. Again, inefficient markets, inefficient moves. You tend to get backfilled. That's even stocks, fam. Okay, that's even stocks. I do want to go over a couple of these shit coins. All right, let's go over Bonk. All right. So Bonk, I've seen a lot of people shilling Bonk. Unfortunately, it's the wrong shill. Okay, so we have this upward channel. We lost the upward channel right here. So let's just go ahead and get rid of the upward channel for right now. Made some bearish divergence. But here is a beautiful level. This is the 2 week level. And it's clear to me, right? It's clear to me that this is not a coin you want to buy. Why? Well, here's the 2 week level, right? And we closed the candle below it. In fact, we had no follow through on this 2 week that we've made, the last 2 weeks, closing in 3 minutes. And Bonk wants to fill out the inefficiencies, okay? So here we have some inefficiencies. Let's go ahead and draw our big giant square. And generally speaking, Bonk is probably going to go much, much lower. So I don't even know how you could shill Bonk. Being a meme coin, has no utility, has no projects, has no future, especially when it has lost the 2 week, okay? So I'm seeing accounts out there showing Bonk lows, and that is just a poor TA. Not checking all your time frames. Bonk is not bullish. Pepe, not bullish either. Broke down from this pennant. Lost the 2 week here. Okay. Again, ugly looking bottom candle. Can easily come down here, fill out this wick. And I think most of these shit coins, fam, are going to fill out the wick. And that's what you need to be watching out for. Zcash, okay? Here's another one. All right, went up in the highs. Wanted to see that 850 tag, didn't get tagged. Clearly front run. And now, right, we go here, support, Zcash, boom, it's holding that support. That's fine. Can hold the support, can fill this out. Eventually we go lower, we fill out the inefficiencies. We spend some more time there. As I said before, this is basic market dynamics, fam. We tend to refill these inefficiencies, these short periods of times where we had large moves get filled out over and over again. Every asset, Nvidia, Tesla, MSTR, Zcash, Solana, Bonk, XRP, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, where is the Bitcoin inefficiencies? Well, that's a good question. Has a lot less inefficiencies, but there is some inefficiencies, and that this is going to be the inefficiency we're going to be targeting in the future. Boom, right there. That's our ultimate buy box. Very inefficient market, really. Quick move down, quick move up, inefficient liquidity gap. We'll take it, as well as we have a little bit of inefficiency here. Okay, we're slowly filling that out. They're loving the wicks, and a little bit of inefficiency here, right? Again, slowly filling this out with the wicks. So, you know, as most people say, hey, we're still ranging. That's fine. We're always ranging. I mean, Bitcoin has been in one giant range since the beginning. So, but overall, I think we just wait for a lot of these inefficiencies to get filled. I would suggest looking for high volume days at these extremes. I'll repeat. I'll suggest looking for high volume days at these extremes. Excuse me, fam. I think I just had the mic off for a minute. Possibly like 3 minutes. But anyways, let's go to Tell. Tell 3-day looks really good. The 2-week is still bullish. The daily is still bullish. We're holding 200 MA. I think Tell really needs to close bullish here on the 3-day for us to cross. So I don't want to see this 50 MA curling flat. I would like to see a push up. So we have about 24 hours. We're about 2 minutes into a new weekly candle, 2 minutes into a daily candle. But if we could get in the next 24 hours, turn this candle green just a little bit on Tell. I think Tell you got to watch out for. This is a good 6x from here, possibly even higher. Again, the highs are at 6 cents. So if you think we're at a half cent here, that's a 10 to 12x. This is one I'm watching. I think Tell's got a lot of potential. Unlike Bonk, who's lost a 2-week. This is broken out, and all we're doing is sitting here sideways. In fact, we're sitting here sideways and have kind of a little bit of a flag. Not the most perfect flag, but we do have a little bit of a flag here. So I'm watching Tell. Everything's bullish. Need to be patient with Tell. That's a good one to hold. As we go in lower prices on Bitcoin, I think Tell is a good one. Bitcoin Cash, another one I'm watching, right? Good daily candle. Could have a daily cross coming soon. Sorry, this is a 3-day candle coming. Excuse me. 5-day. This is like really close to popping. 5-day at the high. Still distributing for right now. Day. 2 week. Probably go for this. I mean, honestly, Bcash went for an ugly part. Oh wow. Bcash could make a move. Bcash can make a move. Bitcoin Cash can make a move, fam. This is actually a really, really good looking chart. Breakout. Oh god, sorry. Breakout here. Above that line. Love to see it. Yeah. This is probably gonna move higher, fam. Bcash is also very similar to Tell, broken out from the trend line, moving sideways. I don't know how long we're gonna move sideways, but this area right here below resistance, as soon as we break this resistance, it's over for Bcash. Bears. I would not be shorting this at this point. Way past my invalidation, but break past that 700 and we're gonna fly. Do we get back to that Coinbase price of $4,000? I don't know about that, but I do think Bitcash could get up to, could do a 2 or 3x from here. So Bitcoin Cash, watch out for that one. BNB's had its move done. Not very exciting here on BNB. Let's see, other ones I want to go over right now. Ethereum, let's go over Ethereum. A little bit better bullish candle than, let's say, XRP. Still ranging, and I still think we could hit that lows here. So I'd be looking for still that 2300 on Ethereum, although it could have a move higher. Could definitely have a move higher first. So we'll have to watch how this all pans out, how Bitcoin does. Again, I would be looking. This is your trigger, fam, for longs. Your trigger. You either wait for a daily bullish divergence, 2-day bullish divergence, and or look at this 12-hour cross. They're probably going to cross this. I would wait for the 12-hour cross. So if we get like a dump, I'd look for longs because I do think that they're going to cross this 12-hour. I do think we could make a push to 96K minimum. Come up here, 96, 97K, and then move a little bit lower. Still would keep the bear channel intact. All right. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, fam. Appreciate the love. Again, if this helped you out at all, I have a sponsor with Blowfin. You can join the Discord for free, premium, by simply signing up with that Blowfin link over there on the left. Sign up with that Blowfin link. DM me on Twitter. DM me on Discord. Get into the Discord premium where we go over all the trades. We have like a lot of good traders in there. We're just chatting. I show some good setups, some good trades from time to time. Free access. Sign up with my Blowfin link right there. Blowfin.com/invite/savage charts. As well as, if this has helped you, please hit the like. Hit the subscribe button on that YouTube. Just trying to educate as many people as possible. If you can help spread the love, then I'll be able to help spread the love as well. All right. So everyone have a good week. Stay safe. We're going into chop mode, fam. But I think there's some really good levels to watch out for. 108K, God level short, in my opinion. Easily could go to 98, 101K short term before lower. But for right now, it does look like we can make a move up higher before the interest rate decision. I think it comes this week. So a lot going down here, fam. I'm not showing alts. Alts can definitely go lower. Although a lot of them are at range lows, I do think they could go much lower, especially the shitcoins. Don't be involving yourself with shitcoins, fam. Utility. And believe it or not, some of these coins have utility. Solana has utility. Zcash even has a little bit of utility. Ethereum has utility. BNB has utility. Tell has utility. These are coins that have utility, okay? Pepe does not have utility. Okay, if you miss Pepe on the DEX, then I would not buy it now. I'll just simply wait for the bear market lows. Same with Bonk, meme coin, giving away like candy on every Solana mobile. I would not be giving that. Lost the 2-week level. Anyone that cannot see that 2-week level should not be trading. All right. So mad love. Appreciate all you. Wait for the 12-hour. I do think we're going to see a 12-hour cross. Do think we can easily see a move up to 96, 97K. Test that trend line before going lower or higher. So join the Discord. Mad love. Appreciate all you. Have a great day. Sorry about that 3-minute mute.